What's the one thing that you want the listeners to take away from this conversation?
I want people, listeners and brand practitioners to start thinking in terms of those identity functionality mix, like
Mm.
how you pull levers
Yeah.
in terms of their strategy. So if they can decide to have a mass strategy, but then they're going to see how is my product going to be discovered in those mass markets, online marketplaces, social media, online platforms, search, and so on. There is no right or wrong answer. It's like knowing exactly which field you play in and what is the right go-to-market strategy, creative, and communication for that. That's my recommendation.
I see. My single point takeaway from this conversation, the key point that I was thinking about is different is better than better. What I mean by that is, yeah, you can be quote unquote better in your product functionality, but being different is a more certain strategy, because if you're trying to make your product better in terms of functionality, then you get into pricing wars. Or, is this one cheaper, the same functionality, but cheaper, or is it really better? And in terms of identity, to your point, if you're not different, then better is a very subjective measure, right? So identity defines how you are different from other products, other brands, other entities. So I think on both the functionality axis and the identity axis, and to answer my own question earlier, like if I were to be building a strategy for next season or next year, I would think about how can my brand be different, or how can my product be different in both functionality and identity. That's how I would start thinking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you for two things. You enter the area of fashion because you're always looking for a difference.
Yes.
This season it's short sleeves, long sleeves, a hole on a sleeve. You always do something different. So some brands don't want to compete there. And then the other one is you need to have a good enough product.
Right.
Yes, it needs to be good enough. If Levi's all of a sudden started making 501s, they didn't fit well anymore, they were different quality, it wouldn't work. It needs to be good enough. It needs to be comparable.
At least, yeah.
Good. And then you can do like what Nike did and so on.
Yeah.